We've been discussing risk. We've been looking at individual companies, individual stocks. Now we're going to talk about the difference between independent risk that affects just one stock, one company, versus common risk or systematic risk. Common risk affects all securities. News about the economy. Are interest rates going up? Are we having inflation? Is there a repeat of 2008 or the Asian financial crisis? Independent risk is risk that is not correlated, affects a particular security, specific company. For example, a strike at Verizon. This is not affecting other companies, although it may have some impact on AT&T, but it shouldn't have a major impact on Exxon. And then we'll discuss something called diversification, where if we have a large enough portfolio, we average out the independent risks. So firm-specific risk is due to firm-specific news. It's also known as idiosyncratic, unique, unsystematic, and diversifiable risk. Common risk, due to market-wide news, systematic risk, undiversifiable risk, or market risk. And this is the risk that we are going to be talking about in later chapters. We're going to have a concept called beta, and that will be a measure here of our risk. We've been looking at standard deviation, looking at the total risk here. But beta, a concept in the capital asset pricing model we'll talk about in future chapters, is what's important. What's the impact here? We're not going to be compensated for bearing risk that we can diversify away in a portfolio. So when many stocks are combined in a large portfolio, the firm-specific unsystematic risk will average out and be diversified. But the systematic risk, however, will affect all firms and will not be diversified. You will be expected to be compensated for taking on systematic risk. You may not be, but you're going to require a higher return. And your textbook talks about the difference between theft in a house and a hurricane or an earthquake. They're all really correlated. If you're has an earthquake, chances are all the houses on the block are affected. Now, maybe a thief is going to target the whole block, but less likely. Our next topic is going in more details on diversification.